Welcome to Animania Chronicles, where we dive deep into the captivating worlds of anime, dissecting stories, unraveling characters, and sharing our passion for all things animated. Welcome back, fellow adventurers, to the sixth installment of our review series on the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. In our journey through this captivating anime, we've witnessed our protagonist navigate the intricate webs of intrigue and power in his new aristocratic life, all while honing his skills as a master assassin. As the plot thickens and alliances shift, Cain revealed to Lugh the real reason why he gave Lugh the task of creating a second identity. He knew that life as the head of an assassin family was dangerous and wanted to give him the opportunity to choose his own path. But Lugh replied that he wanted to continue being an assassin. Cain wanted to know the reasons for his decision, and he replied that he had met a lot of nice people. He planned to operate in the shadows so that his loved ones could live in a peaceful place. Besides, he didn't plan on letting his guard down, and he still planned to assassinate the hero. Afterwards, he said that there was another reason, and Cain learned that Lugh planned to marry Dia someday. Cain was proud of his son and planned to support Lugh on his path. As a result, he got his first job, and his mission was to eliminate a noble who had betrayed the kingdom. Following this, Lugh learned of his mission to eliminate a noble who was selling military secrets to neighboring kingdoms in exchange for drugs. He wrote a letter to Maa to gather information about their target. In the following morning, we see Lugh, and he pretended to be asleep. Ezri was excited and planned to catch her son growing up. Then he asked her what she was doing in his room, and he couldn't believe that she found out about his accident. Lugh tried to ignore her, and he said that a normal mother doesn't do that. Afterwards, Tart showed up, and she told him breakfast was ready. Lugh planned to get ready for the day, and he forced Ezri to leave his room. After breakfast, Lugh was shown pictures of potential marriage candidates by his mother. He replied that he did not intend to attend arranged meetings. Then Ezri said that she wants to have a grandchild before she becomes an old woman. Suddenly, Ezri said that Tart could bear Lugh's child, and she unwittingly agreed. She blushed, and Lugh told Ezri to stop teasing Tart. In the night, Lugh planned to travel to a neighboring kingdom. Tart asked him why he didn't wait for an answer from Maha, but Lugh replied that he would like to see for himself what is publicly visible. Then we see 25 years earlier, and the goddess summoned the world's best paparazzo to the goddess realm. He learned that in order to save the world, he had to defeat a final boss like Can West in a fantasy world. Then she looked into the current life of the world's finest paparazzo. He planned to involve the hero in a scandal, but unfortunately, he was run over by horses. In the meantime, Lugh arrived in Pizer and looked around the second largest merchant town. A short moment later, they were approached by a girl, and she tried to sell them gooseberry jam. Tart pretended she didn't like jam, and she asked if Lugh wanted to taste it. Suddenly, Lugh slapped the jams out of her hand because it wasn't jam. Following this, a group of criminals appeared, and Lugh knocked them out with Tart. The girl was distressed, and Lugh asked if she knew about the drugs in the jam. Lugh learned that she did it because her mother is addicted to it. As a result, Lugh accompanied Na to her home and checked on the condition of her drug-addicted mother. Lugh was attacked by Nina's mother, but he stopped her. Then he activated his powerful mystical TWA eyes to put her to sleep. Lugh explained to Tart that he made it so her body no longer needs the drug. Later, Lugh arrived home, and Ezri told him that they had received a delivery from Orna. He got a message and learned that Viscount Venner was trying to become the next Pablo Escobar. As a result, he decided that they would assassinate Viscount Venner the next day. Lugh visited Maha, and she was happy to see her prince. Then she asked if there had been any progress between him and Tart since his return to Tata. Lugh told her that they are siblings, and he was aware of the feelings of his girls. She said it seems like he forces himself not to consider romantic feelings for them. Lugh tried to change the topic, but Maha told him that he was hurting Tart's feelings. She also knew about his feelings for Dia, but made it clear to him that there are two other people besides Dia who are in love with him. Then she mentioned that he is a noble one who is allowed to have several women by his side. A short time later, they arrived in VCA's land, and Lugh learned that their primary industry is agriculture. Maha found out that their output is nearly the same as Tuata was previously. Following this, he arrived at the Venner mansion, and Viscount Venner welcomed Ellie. He started to show her some cosmetic products, and she loved it. After that, he used his business skills and found out that the Venkars were poor nobles a few years ago. Suddenly, Viscount Venner appeared and thanked Elik for taking the time to visit them. He started telling Elik that his wife is a big fan of his products and admitted that he is a bit jealous of him. In the evening, a party was held among nobles, and the noblewomen loved his cosmetic products. Viscount Venner thanked Elik for making his wife happy. Lugh continued to pretend to be nice, and Viscount Venner had no idea of his death sentence. After that, Lugh secretly watched him because he planned to find out all of his habits. A few days later, he had figured out Viscount Vor's daily routine, and he started his assassination attempt with Tart. Lugh used his mystic eyes of Tuatha and realized that a barrier around his mansion was activated. As a result, he created with Maina a special bullet. Then he spotted Viscount Venner, and Lugh began aiming at his target with a sniper. Lugh was confident about his aiming skills because he played Fortnite every day. After pulling the trigger, he hit his target with a clean headshot. Suddenly, his wife appeared, and Lugh was surprised because killing had never moved his heart in his past. Tart knew that Lugh was a kind-hearted person and cheered him up. Afterwards, they planned to return home, and Lugh didn't regret it because that was the life he had chosen. A few weeks passed after Lugh's first assassination attempt, and he was sailing with Tart. After that, she told him that she enjoyed living with him on an uninhabited island. Following this, he used his mystic eyes, and he was able to locate Ma's location. When they arrived, Ma asked how their trip was, and he replied that it was the perfect place to train. Then he asked if anything had happened in his absence. Ma replied she had found the divine treasure he had asked her about. Lugh learned that the divine treasure is called the Magic Spear Gourd, and the weapon is owned by Satana Machis. In addition, he was told that the guy is most likely the hero. After this, he was told that a civil war had broken out that included Dia's kingdom. He was shocked, and on the rebel side was Satanta Machis. The following morning, Lugh went to visit Dia. She was surprised to see him so early and invited him into her room. Lugh was served tea and expressed his concern about Dia. He asked her about the war, and she replied that it was far away, although she lied to him. Lugh mentioned the strong guy with the divine treasure among the rebels and suggested using his identity as Ilig Baylor to help them escape to a safe kingdom. Unfortunately, Dia couldn't accept the offer, stating that she is still the daughter of Count Bissum. She tried to change the subject and asked Lugh about dyeing his hair. She was planning to go on a date with him and asked which dress would suit her. A few moments later, Lugh questioned if she was sure to go into town wearing such a simple disguise. She replied that she would not fear anything because Lugh would protect her. Dia then mentioned her hunger, and Lugh revealed that he knew more about the town than she did. Suddenly, a merchant drove by, and Lugh sensed many skilled warriors in the town. Dia explained they were positioned there to protect the citizens in an emergency. She discovered an interesting store and wanted to take a look. Dia asked Lugh to win her a teddy bear, and he activated his mystic eyes, but Dia wanted him to win it without using magic. Lugh decided to teach her how to use a bow. Her first attempt failed, but she persevered and won Mr. Bean's teddy bear with her third shot. She planned to name it Little Lugh. Dia mentioned having lasagna for lunch, and Lugh wanted to show her the restaurant called Mario and Luigi. 20 years earlier, the world's finest teacher was summoned by the goddess to teach the hero in a fantasy world. Meanwhile, Lugh enjoyed lasagna with Dia in a restaurant. He mentioned that it tasted good, but Dia told him his dishes tasted better. He promised to make her lasagna next time if she visited Tuatha. After lunch, they went for a walk, and Dia found a lost little boy. They helped him reunite with his mother and said goodbye. Lugh mentioned he could never ignore a crying child, and Dia wanted to show him a special place as a reward. She took him to the famous hot spring in Viscone, revealing that she reserved the whole place. He was surprised by her answer, and Dia couldn't wait to jump into the hot spring with him. Lugh enjoyed his time with Dia, and they talked about their kingdoms. Dia expressed her love for her kingdom, and he understood what she was trying to tell him. In the evening, Dia said goodbye to Lugh, looking sad. She mentioned that she wouldn't be able to see him for a while. After saying goodbye, Lugh promised to make her lasagna at their next meeting. Shortly after, she told the soldiers they could take off their disguise and express sadness at the likelihood of never seeing Lugh again. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the vast realms of anime. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more thrilling reviews and discussions. Until next time, keep exploring the boundless wonders of anime with us.